Listen to me. We don't want to kill any of you. But trust me, we will. Wake them up a little!
This whole thing is pretty much done. We're more ghosts than people.
You have got to keep faith. They will not crush us.
Good old Dutch. My best friend. You know how we met? Pair of hucksters trying to rob each other. Back in 78 or thereabouts.
You have to love yourself a fire. It's one of the blessings. Sure, we can have fire. And we can have the knowledge of fire. But with that comes the knowledge of everything. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a robbery.
Sons of Dutch. Makes us brothers. Sometimes, brothers make mistakes.
You'll never change. I know that.
All of you venerate savagery. And you will die savagely.
Get out here! Stay strong. Stay with me. You have to love yourself a fire.
Alright, welcome to episode 2 of Handy with the Steel. We will be going over some things that we had done in episode 1 as well, just for a while. Here we go. Welcome to LeClaire, the territory of Colorado. The date is May 4th, 1866, just 1 year after the American Civil War. The Pikes Peak gold rush has begun to falter, but still the desperate search for their fortune through minerals, commerce, flesh, or crime. Handy with the Steel is intended to be a sprawling campaign set in the fictional town of LeClaire, which sits 40 miles southwest of Denver City. With a unique and varied cast of characters, Handy with the Steel hopes to tell a realistic tale of the American frontier. Inspirations include Tombstone, Deadwood, and the Magnificent Seven. Handy with the Steel will use Earl of Fife, which can be found at fifegames.com, Universal RPG system, Heroes and Hardships, which is currently under development. Welcome to LeClaire, cowboys and cowgirls. Come along for the ride, and if not already, please subscribe to Blades and Blasters YouTube channel, where you can find actual plays, system and character creation tutorials, and role-playing game talks with content released nearly every day. One warning, viewer discretion is advised for this campaign. It does intend to paint the American frontier as it was 1 year after the Civil War. Racism and sexism are still alive and well. We will take care to treat these subject matters carefully, but we will not whitewash the dirty side of the time period. Please understand we do this to make a realistic, gritty historical drama, not because we are some sort of sexist or racist. Alright. Except WP, of course. Let me get this moved over how it should be. And where are you? Alright, everybody should be able to see. The day is, oh, I didn't do the newspaper. 1 second. And the newspaper from today is as follows. No sale, no peace. LeClaire lost another independent mine owner Monday. Elias Henderson went under contract with the Butler Company for the sale of his mining rights. The Butler Company has acquired 2 mines in the last month alone, with Preston & Preston buying another. Butler Company's lawyer, Deaton Miller, commented, "This is a great day for Henderson and the Butler Company. Mr. Henderson received a very competitive compensation, and the Butler Company now controls another adjacent plot of land which will allow for easier transportation of metals to town. The Henderson mine will remain open for the time being." Mr. Henderson had no comment and is in the process of leaving town with his new windfall. Man cheats at cards and gets shot. Henry David, an out-of-work miner, was found to be cheating in a game of poker. His cousin, Bishop David, took offense and drew steel. Fortunately, Mr. David was just grazed. Both men were fined for the incident. Mayor returns from Denver City empty-handed. Mayor Hill, who had been in Denver City in the article, continues. And it is, as you see the date on the ledger, May 4th, 1866. It's a Tuesday. The day has a chill in the air out here, just outside of town at least. It's less stuffy here. The sprawling estate of Jessabelle Dunn and her former husband. There's many buildings, barns, and other places where the workers stay and whatnot. You can hear the horses neigh in the distance from the stables, and Jessabelle looks out her window, and we'll let me switch you guys over to the appropriate area for Jessabelle. Let's see what's fairly opulent. Would you like your office? Would you like a fancy room in the house? You tell me.
Office.
Your office, or the gardens either. Alright, so here we go. You guys right in here. I totally missed.
So, Jessabelle has been reading the paper for the day. Puts it down in frustration, seeing that another company has been swept up into Preston & Preston. She knows that at some point, again, they're going to continually ask her to sell. Seeing all these other weak-willed, livered individuals just kind of gives her a disgusting taste in her mouth. Slams down the paper. She looks at the window, takes out her blue fan, and just gets some air moving in there. Even though it's a chilly day, she still wants to kind of feel the wind on her face. She's been working on paperwork for the mines for most of the day. Hasn't gone out with Biscuit yet, her prized and beloved horse yet. That was on the agenda for the rest of the day, as she was tired of writing and signing things. Not sure what you're doing here in my office, sir. I do hope you schedule an appointment with Mr. Bell, else Maxwell will have to give you the boot. I do so love him strong-arming those who think my time ain't precious. Let's start with names then, shall we? Formerly Bates. Tied for middle child with my twin Jack. Older brother named Cassidy. Youngest, Nora. Now, I'm Miss Dunn. I see you ain't trembling in your small boots at that. You must be new to town. Jessabelle Dunn is my name. My friends call me Jessa. And the help call me Madam. You see, I own a large portion of the mine land in these here parts. Well, inherited. My poor husband, Dallas, died suddenly one day of a heart attack. It wasn't really that long ago. I'm still sorting out his affairs. It's still so sad to ponder. One day you're a whiskey-smelling man swine, and suddenly your heart kicks the dirt. Doctors couldn't predict that happening at all. Horses, my passion. Used to be in raining competitions when I was younger. Biscuit, my prize girl, she's still with me. I make sure to take her out at least once a day or have one of the help do as such. Maybe even Mary. She's so well-mannered. I'd fight to the ends of the world for her. Ain't no one touching my biscuit. Raining's how I caught Dallas's eye. Never lost a competition once I started winning. There's rumors flying about that I may have broken a competitor horse's leg. Those are lies and slander. I didn't break 'em. Not myself, anyway. I never lose. Not when I don't have to. I ain't no Angelica no more, but what I am useful for is running this damn mining business. I ain't letting no one put their damn paws on my land anytime soon. These are mine, and I'll make sure to let anyone who questions regret asking. I plan on making my mark in this here town. I don't want to waste away as a widow of some milksop man who died of a little dysfunction. I'll make sure Daddy's proud of me. I'll make sure Cassidy's proud of me. I want my name to be in every single homestead, every single business. I will own this town, and they will remember me. Jezebel continues to look outside, look at the window of her office, staring at the grounds. You can see there's a bit of distaste every time she looks outside. There's a little wrinkle in her nose. A bit of sadness for missing where she used to be in Texas. A little bit of disappointment, but now there is some satisfaction knowing that this is now all hers.
Okay. Let's see. Where would Mary be?
Oh, if she's on the property, she's probably in the stables.
All right. Just use this screen. Go ahead.
All right. So, Mary is a tall, young woman, long blonde hair caught back in a loose braid. Right now she's wearing a man's shirt and breeches, hat on her head. She's in a stall with one of her favorite horses, Ladybug, brushing him down, picking his hooves, just taking a moment, leaning against him, finding some peace. From the time I was old enough to know the difference, I wished I was born a man. Don't get me wrong, I could do without the stink and the hair and the extra bits. There ain't no denying that when it comes to choices in life, a man gets a bigger portion than a woman. Why? Why is that tits earn you a skirt and what hangs between the legs earns you the right to ride your horse astride instead of side saddle? Seems backwards. This whole world seems backwards. I miss Pa. That fire done took away my whole world. What I miss most, though, isn't Pa or the house. It's the horses. 4 out of 5 were done for in that fire. Just luck that Ladybug and me were out in the pasture bringing in a few stragglers. Aunt Jess is good to me, I guess, but she is always trying to ladify me, and I can't say it's ever gonna stick. I've been this way, the way I am, too long. Pa ruined me, I guess. Let me run wild and work the ranch with him. Now, it's all gone. I want it back. I can't have Pa, no sir, not until the resurrection. But if I work hard, work smart, maybe, just maybe, I can get the ranch back on its feet. The thought of that is what keeps me going. And that's all I've got.
No, it's good. Sticky Joe, you're riding up the lane to this place that you've never been to before, had heard about from other people. You see there's a man working on a fence out front. It takes you a little while to notice that he is a Indian from the distance, and you can pose yourself in, so to speak.
Slowly on the trail rides up a man in a black cowboy hat with a gray duster on top of a blood-gray horse, rifle in its saddle holster, and a couple of pistols on each hip. He's find himself singing to himself, "Danny boy, oh Danny boy, the pipes are calling." Kind of sings to himself as he heads up to what he believes to be Dunn Manor, a promise made to a friend dying on the battlefield that he would track down and find his sister. And it took him some time and a few detours along the way and a few sticky situations, but he has slowly made his way up to Colorado and approaches the Indian, kind of surprised that he's working here, and is polite and looks to this man and goes, "Top of the morning to ya. Is this Dunn Manor?"
Crow peeks up from putting in a post and looks at the man for a minute, just totally blank face. "It is."
"I don't suppose you could be a good lad and go tell Miss Jessa that Sticky's here to see her."
He frowns a little bit and nods. "I will." And simply puts his tools down and walks off towards the to find her.
Yeah, you walk towards the estate. You've only been inside probably once or twice in the main room.
Yeah, he'll walk up. He's not allowed to actually walk inside, is he?
That would be
Nope.
up to Jessa, but I assume not.
God, no.
And he'll go up and knock on the door.
You knock on the door and there's no answer for a moment. At that time, Mary is heading back towards the manor. Mary, you see standing at the door is one of the hired help, the engine. He's knocking on the door. And you see a man on a horse a little ways away down the lane.
Oh, hey there, Crow, is it?
Yes, ma'am. Mary.
Yep.
There's a man.
That man there on the horse?
He claims his name is Sticky, I think he said.
She raises an eyebrow.
He likes to sing.
Because I think you might have misheard. That ain't a proper name. But that's all right. Did you have business with Jessa, or were you just
Maybe he said Stinky. I'm not sure. He was singing and he wants to speak with Jessa. But I cannot go inside.
Oh yeah. Aunt Jessa, she does she does everything by the book, I guess. Well, reckon I'll go in and tell her.
Thank you.
She tips her hat at him, kind of like a man would. And then she just opens the door and walks in.
Crow will walk back towards the sticky man. He'll resume his work, but he'll look the guy over and see what he's carrying, weapons or whatever.
He appears to be armed for sure. He's got a rifle and some pistols on each hip.
And he'll wait for the man if he's going to make any small talk with him, but he won't speak to him at all until he does, and he resumes putting the post back in.
Sticky kind of ignores the Indian. No real point in talking to the help beyond what's necessary. Just kind of stares at the manor and the woman, what appeared to be a woman, but he wasn't quite sure based on the dress, walking into the manor.
Mm-hmm. Switching inside, Mary, you walk up the long spiraled staircase. The banister made of very, very nice oak. The spindles are all white and perfect. You can almost see the glimmer of the polish on the floor as you round up into the second floor, and you see that Jessa's room, the door is open to her office. This is probably where she would be more likely.
Mary approaches a little hesitantly. She's never been completely comfortable in the big house. It's much fancier than the ranch house at our property that burnt down. She wipes her hands off on her pant legs a little self-consciously as she walks toward the open door, gives the door a little rap. Aunt Jessa?
And Jessabelle looks up from paperwork. She looks to Mary. You can see there's a slight frown on her face as she interrupts, but her expression softens as she gets up, makes her way over to Mary. Oh, Larry, what is it, my girl? Oh, what are you wearing? She'll rip off the hat from Mary and pull down her hair, taking it out of the ponytail, pulling it by her sides. Goddamn girl, I told you to wear a damn dress.
Dress? I can't take care of no horse. It's wearing... Look, I'll change as soon as I'm done out in the barn. But that's not why I came in here. There's someone outside. I don't know his name. The engine you got working there.
Speak, girl.
I don't know.
Too many words.
Somebody's coming on a horse. That's all I know.
A horse. That's specific.
Well, he should be about here by now. He looked... I couldn't see... He was a bit of a young-ish. I don't know. Probably armed. Didn't look hostile. Just... Apparently he's got business with you. I don't know what. Were you expecting something?
I'm never expecting anyone. And she'll look to Mary. You can see there's an annoyed expression on Jess's face before she breaks out into her usual smile. She grabs Mary kind of by the chin, their forefinger and her thumb, and shakes her head a little. You're a good girl. You know that.
Mary looks down and blushes a little bit at the praise. I do try to be. I know how frustrating I am and how hard you try. I'll keep trying. You want me to let the fella in? Show him up? Or you want me to get a rifle?
Well, let the gent in. Might as well welcome into my home. Can you get that brown man, Maxwell? Make sure he's around. Make sure you're staying safe, all right, honey?
No, don't worry about me, Aunt Jessa, but I thank you anyway. All right, I'll bring him up.
Good. And she starts shouting down the hall, Maxwell!
You hear a bit of commotion here. See?
Get over here. We got guests. I don't know who the hell they are.
You see his head peek around the corner. And he nods. And where the hell is this token there? Alright, I be here.
Good. She rolls her eyes a bit and she picks up the front of her dress to make it easier for her to walk, and she starts making her way down the stairs into the front lobby.
Mary will go down after, head to the door, more than a little bit excited to be meeting somebody new. They don't get a lot of that out here.
You head to the front door. You see the engine in the not so far away from the house. He's messing with the fence, as you knew that there's repairs being done there, so that's not surprising. But then you do see the man behind him, still seated on a horse, just appears to be waiting.
Mary gives Jessabelle a nod, opens the door, and walks out. She puts her hand on her head like she's reaching for her hat, but she remembers that Jessabelle knocked it off in her office. Kind of self-consciously puts her hand down at her side, and then brings it back up, smooths her hair back from her face, walks over to Sticky Joe on his horse.
And how are you today this fine morning?
Oh, well as can be expected. And yourself?
Oh, I've been on the road for quite a while, looking to rest my weary feet, if you don't mind.
Well, not to say that Aunt Jessie's not hospitable, 'cause she is, but she ain't accustomed to putting up strange men in her house. You got business with?
Oh, I'm no stranger to Jessa. I'm an old friend back from Texas.
Oh, is that so? And she just starts walking forward. Well, come on. She's asked me to show you to the house.
Sticky kind of follows her and gets off his horse and takes it up to a hitching post and takes off his leather riding gloves and follows Mary into the manor, kind of anxious a little bit after it's been so long since he's last seen Jeff.
Yeah, you walk in and Jess is, I don't know, she's in this room. You can tell me how this looks. I can tell you that Maxwell's standing by the base of the stairs, his arms crossed, leaning against the wall. Looks like could be Hispanic.
So Jess is standing kind of in the middle of the room. She's still fanning herself on her curly red locks, going back a bit as she continues to fan her face. She's got a very upright posture. Almost her head's kind of picked up a bit as she's almost looking down on whoever's in front of her. She's got a bit of a bored look on her face, expecting someone else to come and ask her to sell. So that's really what she's expecting. She's not really glancing back at Maxwell, knowing that he has her back in case things go sour. She stands kind of poised and proper in the middle of the entranceway, waiting to receive whoever it is that's coming in.
Mary precedes Joe into the house. Looks at Jessa. Aunt Jessa, this fella here, oh beans, I didn't get his name. And she looks back at him. But he says that you're acquainted.
Sticky kind of, Joe kind of walks in behind her and doesn't pay much attention to Mary or Maxwell and focusing on Jessa, and kind of his seriousness goes into a much broader smile as he sees her and recognizes how much she's grown up since the last time they saw each other, and goes, Oh, Jessa, you don't have any idea how much you make these Irish eyes smile. Kind of moves towards her.
Jessa cocks an eyebrow, kind of looks over Joe's features, looks at the hat, looks at the duster. She looks a bit apprehensive at first, but then there's this recognition that goes over her face, and a very large smile appears. And she looks very happy all of a sudden to see Joe. Joe? Is that you?
Oh, it is, lassie. Kind of tips his hat back. I was almost scared for a minute you weren't going to recognize me. Now come on over here. Walks towards her.
Yeah, she kind of quickly makes her way over, folding her fan up, and she wraps her arms around Joe, pulling him into kind of a tight hug. Oh, well, I didn't think I'd ever see you again. How did you find your way here?
Oh, us Micks are a resilient bunch. The war didn't kill me, so I figured I'd make my way up here after a while. How have you been?
Oh, well, so much has happened so far. And she pulls kind of away from the hug, and she places a hand on either side of Joe's face. Mama, you've grown so much since I've seen you.
Oh, I filled out a little bit, as you can tell. In all the right places, thankfully.
Well, looks like it. She kind of peers behind. Where's Cassidy?
Joe's kind of face goes from happy to, like, sad as he realizes that Jessa doesn't know what's happened to her brother, and he looks to Maxwell and Mary and goes, perhaps we should talk in private about that.
Oh, why? See her face fall a little bit.
Oh, I think you know why.
You can see her breath hitch a little, and she looks to Maxwell and Mary, takes a deep breath, and becomes composed again. You can see the hard look appear back on her face. You two, do you mind going outside, see if the engine needs any help with the fence?
Mary looks at her aunt with a bit of concern, kind of catching the drift that her, whoever this person is that Joe's referring to might not be okay, but she nods and says, should I take the horse to the stable, Jessa? Is he going to be staying?
Yeah. Make sure the horse is taken care of, and if you could maybe take up Biscuit. I don't think I'll be able to get to her today.
Oh, my pleasure. Biscuit's a fine beast.
Thank you.
All right, well, just holler or send Maxwell if you need me.
Of course.
Mary gives her another glance and nods to Joe. Heads out.
As you step out, you're somewhat surprised to see another man walking up the lane. Crow, you're also surprised as a man comes and he... you there, do you know where if the lady's here?
Oh, wait, I know you. You're... She thinks for a minute. Her brows
Nathan, ma'am, Nathan.
Oh, yeah, mister. You gotta... Your last name's kind of... Oh, yeah, it's Nutter. Okay, yeah, Aunt Jessa, she is receiving a visitor at the moment, and she is indisposed.
Oh, I'm sorry, ma'am. This is kind of important. It's mine business. She'll want to know. I'm more than certain.
How urgent is it?
As urgent as possible, besides the mine imploding by dynamite. I really do apologize, but I know Miss Jessa would definitely wish to hear from me right now.
Oh, baby. All right, well, I'll let you up, but let me warn you, she may be in a mood. I think she's about to get some bad news.
Well, I don't need to go inside, ma'am. Just, if you please tell her that Mr. Nutter's here from her mine, her claim, with some very important news that needs her attention post-haste.
Oh, all right. Guess I don't blame you for not wanting to interrupt her. All right, you wait out here.
He nods. As you walk back, he takes a deep breath and looks over to Screaming Crow, and he's like, I hate coming to this place.
Crow looks at him, kind of worried look on his face, and he goes back to work, and then looks back up at him again and says, "Why?"
All these hoity-toity types, it doesn't bother you?
He laughs. You're a funny white man.
He scratches his beard. I don't. That wasn't a joke. He's completely confused. Doesn't get it.
And then he looks back at his work and he says, well, no one likes me here either.
Well, I guess that's true. I don't have any problem against your kind. That's reassuring, I guess.
He smiles and nods.
He looks very uncomfortable as he's standing here after that brief conversation, puts his hands behind his back and begins to pace.
Yeah, Crow goes back to work.
Crow's like half drunk right now doing this, by the way. So. Alright, hold on, let me. So where would you take him, Jessabelle? Sticky Joe, that is.
If there was like I don't know if we have like a parlor or anything.
I can do that.
Somewhere to sit.
I can do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mary, you walk in and you hear Jessabelle from the parlor in the dining area.
She walks in and closes the door as quietly as she can. And she kind of walks over to the parlor real slow. She's kind of dreading interrupting Jessabelle. She knows she can have a temper, and it seemed like she was getting some bad news. So probably, partly inadvertently, she's eavesdropping for a couple minutes.
Yep, it works. And what is your conversation as you walk into the parlor? You've probably been chit-chatting, I assume, just small talk for a moment.
Yeah, Jessabelle goes into the parlor and she takes a seat and gestures to an open one for Joe.
Joe kind of sits down beside her, and as they're alone, he kind of takes her hand kind of comfortingly, knowing that he's about to deliver some bad news, and kind of looks her in the eyes and kind of softly says, "Oh, I'm sorry I have to be the one to tell you this, Jessa, but your brother died almost 2 years ago. He was shot and killed in a battle."
What do you mean? He's 2 years. You can see she kind of takes her eyes away from you and puts a hand to her forehead.
Yeah, it was in spring of 1864. We were out raiding behind enemy lines, and a bullet caught him right in the chest and knocked him off his horse. And I turned around and got down and drug him to safety, and he died right in my arms.
You can see her breath hitches, and she takes a handkerchief out of of her dress, starts patting her eyes. I really can't believe it. I always thought Cassidy would be back. I always thought he'd be coming back to me to, I don't know, rescue me from this place or something, but he's gone. She looks up to Joe. I can't believe it.
Oh, I'm so sorry, Jessa. And I'm sorry that it had to be me that had to tell you. But I couldn't leave my post. I couldn't leave my men. And it took me a long time to get up here.
She shakes her head. Oh, it's... thank you. I stopped receiving letters from home quite a bit ago. I've always been pretty worried. Maybe no one kind of deep down what's been happening, but thank you for telling me, Joe. I know how close you and Cassidy were too.
He was like a brother to me. And I promised him before he passed that I'd come up here and see you sooner or later and make sure everything was working out for you. And he kind of looks around to the parlor, and it looks like you've been doing all right for yourself.
Well, I've been, I guess, doing fine enough. I mean, Dallas passed away a couple months back.
Joe's face kind of twitches at that news, and goes, "Oh, I seem to be the bearer of bad news when you've already had enough suffering in your life."
Jessabelle, she shrugs a little. Well, I mean, it was expected, to be honest. He had a very weak heart. And, well, he was a fat one, that one. Unfortunate, but, well, now it's just me here. Now I have to be running the mines and running the house.
At this point, Mary has worked up the nerve to give a little knock. Clears her throat. Excuse me?
Jessabelle snaps her head toward. What is it?
I'm so sorry. I wouldn't interrupt unless it weren't important. I hope it's important. You're Mr. What's his name? Mr. Nutter from the mines. He's here, and he says he's got important news. I asked him straight out, is this really important? He said, he said, if the mines exploded, that would be more important, but this was almost that important. So I figured I had to come get you.
She sighs and looks to Joe. I'm sorry, this is getting cut short. Well, you might as well come with me. I don't know exactly what, Nathan wants. And she gets up and lets go of Joe's hand. She looks to Mary. Alright, this better be damn important for me to be stopping this.
Mary cringes down a little bit. Oh, I'm sure he wouldn't be here unless it were. How's a man get a name like Nutter?
I think that's his last name, Mary.
I know, but folks, they get a name from a job like a smith. I don't know, that's just...
She rolls her eyes a bit. Alright, Mary, you think that Dunn is part of a job? And she kind of looks to her. Look, honey, I know that you're highly uneducated and we really need to talk about that and really work it out. But you can't just be assuming that because his name is Nutter. You know what?
That his family grew nuts. That's it.
You know what? I'm just gonna go outside. She just passes by Mary and just starts walking outside.
Joe follows Jess out and kind of, as he's walking by, Mary goes, "Well, you're really going to be confused when you know my nickname's Stick."
I thought that engine had it wrong. You're right. I am rightly confused, but I guess that's a conversation for another time. She seems to be in a mood.
Well then, let's go see if we can fix her up right.
Mary just nods, follows behind.
So, as you walk outside, the engine is performing his task. He's almost finished with the fence. There's this large, tall man, and unlike the previous game, he doesn't probably have an ounce of fat on him. He's very barrel-chested, large-armed. As Jessa walks out the door, he lowers his eyes. "Oh, madam, sorry I had to interrupt you. Important, or I would have sent somebody else. Came all the way here myself."
She sighs but composes herself, standing up straight and walking towards Nathan with a small smirk on her face. "Well, I guess it's important since you're coming. What exactly is wrong this time?"
"Well, he scratches the back of his. It's the men, ma'am. You see, yesterday, I was told yesterday, I don't know how long this has been going on, but, well, I don't rightly know how to say. You see, they're talking about, unionizing, and I told them it was a bad idea, but now they're saying that they don't want to work without a raise, and they stopped working, so they haven't worked for it took me an hour to get here, and an hour of me trying to get them to get back to work, and they're just not doing it. A man came, I guess, and he was talking to him. I don't know, I didn't see him, but they were saying that he said that they should all get together and form a union for better benefits and pay, you see. And Dirty Jim is he is one angry man right now. He's like a bobcat. You grab his tail, and he's down in those mines, and he told nobody come back in these mines, or he was going to set off a stick and throw it down a well, or so. I don't know, ma'am. I am just shook. I am so sorry that this happened, and they are going crazy down there.
You can see Jezebel's Nutter is talking. Face gets more sour and sour as it goes, eyes furrowing further and further. And after he finishes, she just takes a deep breath. "Well, it seems that you don't have control of your men, Mr. Nutter, for one."
Well, I did send...
I'm sorry, Mr. Nutter. Let me finish.
I'm sorry, man.
Let me finish speaking. Good. A couple things I want to know. I want to know exactly who is speaking to the man about unionizing. I want to know what he looks like, his height, his weight, what he looks like, where he came from, the direction that he came. The second thing is, I need to get to that mine as soon as possible, because either that man down in that mine is going to set some explosives off, or he's going down, or something else. I don't know. But I really cannot deal with this kind of crap today. Do you understand, Mr. Nutter?
I do. My wagon's right here. I can take you back to the mine. I was going to say I did ask the preacher to come and speak scripture to these boys to get them back to work. I don't know if he's there yet, but I'm doing all I can. I don't know. They're talking crazy, ma'am.
I hope for God's sake and your sake, Mr. Nutter, that the preacher is there and no dynamite goes off in my goddamn mind. Do you understand?
Absolutely. As God is my witness, as Jesus Christ, I pray to him every night. He would say the exact same thing, and I do understand. Yes, ma'am. I'll just wait by the cart. And he just scurries off.
And Jezebel kind of snaps her head to Mary. "Mary, get me biscuit."
Oh, yes, right away. All right.
And
do you want me to come? She looks really hopeful, like just finding the situation interesting.
She pauses for a moment. Get a gun. Get your horse. Get Joe's horse.
Oh yeah, she says. And she again reaches for her hat like she's gonna tip it, but it's not there. Instead, she just gives a little wave and then runs like at a dead run toward the barn.
Joe kind of walks close to Jessa and he's kind of trying to suppress a smirk and he's like, "Oh, you sure you need me here? Looks like you're putting the fear of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost into all of them."
You can see she licks her lips a little bit and looks up to Joe. I really don't want to deal with this kind of stuff, Joe. This is not the kind of thing that a lady should have to deal with. And I've had to deal with since my husband died.
You see walking
Well,
out of
then
the
I'd be-
house is Maxwell. Mother, Mom, you need me?
She nods and motions him over. There might be some, something going down, Maxwell. I'm definitely gonna need you. Make sure you have your weapons, alright?
I always got him, ma'am. And he taps one of the pistols. I'm ready to go. You say when I go?
Good. She looks to Joe, kind of whispers under her breath. He's a simple man. Doesn't speak English too well, but he's useful enough.
Crow.
Joe looks to Maxwell and the Indian. He's like, "You don't have any burrheads working here, do you?"
No. Maybe at some point.
Crow's gonna look over and... Ma'am, should I stand guard outside the house? Or do you need me to come with you?
You see she turns up her nose a little bit. Yeah, if you want to stand guard of the house, just don't drag your dirty feet into my home.
Of course, ma'am.
You know, ma'am, Indians, they known thieves. I would not. I'd send him away to the... wherever they go. Steal everything.
Well, you have a point there, Maxwell. She looks to Crow. Crow, why don't you, go off and do what you do? Maybe make some more, tomahawks or shoot some arrows or something.
Crow looks over, kind of sideways towards Maxwell, and then back towards Jessa. And, yes, ma'am. And then he heads back towards his shack to get his stuff. He is more than happy to go back to the brothel.
Maxwell walks over to the fence and he starts yanking. He's like, you can tell anyone who's really paying attention, he's trying to make it look like it's a shoddy job. But then he kind of just stops and gives up after a while. And
Now don't go wasting your strength there. You only have a limited amount. Same as your brain power.
Cece, I'm ready, ma'am. Let's go. And about that
Oh,
time,
we're waiting for Mary.
Mary comes back.
Mary's leading Ladybug and Biscuit both, and she hands off Biscuit to Jessabelle. Are you having Maxwell come, or is he staying?
Maxwell's coming.
Okay, I thought he might. Maxwell, I got one of the horses ready for you. He's down there. You might want to go grab him.
He nods and walks back to grab the horse. Doesn't say anything.
Mary walks over and just starts untying Joe's horse. Leads it over to him.
Well, thank you there. You say your name's Mary?
Yeah, I'm Mary Dunn. I'm Jessabelle's niece by marriage. That's a fine beast you
That's
got
a
there.
very long name you have there, Mary.
She looks confused. And then she laughs. Oh, no, my name's just Mary Dunn. What's your name? It can't really be Sticky.
Everybody calls me Sticky Joe.
Well, I can't say I'm not curious, but she looks over to Jessabelle, but I reckon that's a story for another time.
Quite right. Let's go help your aunt out at the Moine.
Mary nods. You notice that she's got a rifle strapped to the saddle of her horse.
Sticky kind of notices it and just makes a mental note and mounts up on his horse and spurs it over to the side of Jessa. Now don't you go embarrassing me. I remember how you used to ride. Put people like me to shame.
Well, I think that you've had enough years to catch up to me, but if you feel like you're still inadequate, you can always prove me wrong.
You need a foot up, Jessa, in those skirts, or you got it?
I've got it. Jessa easily kind of hops up on the biscuit.
Mary looks with admiration on the way she hops up, despite the skirts and petticoats, and then she mounts her own horse with the same kind of fluid grace.
You head out towards the mine. It's a couple miles away. There is a small road that connects Dunn Manor directly to it. And on the road, you do see someone coming in the opposite direction. None of you recognize who this is. One man is clearly in fine clothing. He's wearing a kerchief, and he kind of pushes his horse to the side, and the men with him just kind of watching you pass. He nods. He doesn't have a hat on. The other men next to him just watch.
Jessabelle looks to... This is like specifically a road from the manor to the mine.
Mm-hmm. There are other roads that intersect, but
yeah, she slows her horse down and nods to the gentleman. Good day, gentlemen.
Good day, ma'am.
Seems to be a fine day for travel along these roads.
It is always a fine day to be traveling in God's country, ma'am.
Of course, I usually don't see very many people travel along my roads.
I did not know you owned this road, ma'am. My apologies. I was just heading to town in a circumventus route, if you will.
Well, it's a most direct route from my estate to my mines, so it's interesting to see a few individuals on this road. Any reason why you're in town, if you don't mind me asking?
Oh, in town. Yes, I have just come to town from Denver City not long ago. Oh, mining business, of course. Just looking over the mines here and there, seeing if there's anything to purchase.
Oh, looking over the mines. Any ones you've been to particularly?
Oh, not particularly, ma'am.
No, well, you say you're looking to purchase mines. Why are you going to the mines themselves and not to the... I'm fairly intrigued as to that.
Well, I am here to assay the claims themselves, see what they're worth, and if they're worth anything to buy. Sometimes it's more of a hassle than it's worth, you see.
Of course, a hassle and intruding on someone's work while they're not there, yes. I fully understand the hassle that you're going through, mister.
Well, if I've hassled someone, I do apologize. Haven't hassled anyone that I'm aware of.
Depends if you've been talking about. And she looks to Nutter to see if there's any recognition.
He is on the bench of his wagon, and he is basically got his eyes down, giving no signs that he knows who this is.
She looks to Deaton again. Oh, well, I'm guessing you've been to the mines along this path then?
Oh, some, ma'am, yes.
You've been talking about any unionizing while you've been there?
Unionizing is typically very bad for mining prospects, ma'am. I would do no such thing.
Is he bullshitting?
Yeah.
Roll detect lies.
Can I roll too?
Yes, anyone can roll.
Where is it?
It is under empathy.
Hey.
Hey.
1 second.
Damn, Mary.
He seems like a nice fella.
He's bad!
Yeah, that's what I thought. Let's see if I can do this. Yeah, he seems like he's telling the truth as far as you're aware.
She nods. Well, I would suggest that if you're looking to assess any lands, maybe ask the owners of said mines first. I know from experience they get a little bit upset when people are nosing around.
Yes, ma'am. And you might be whom?
Jessabelle Dunn.
Jessabelle Dunn. Jessabelle Dunn. And he takes a little pocketbook out and flips through the pages. Jessabelle Dunn. Jessabelle Dunn. Oh, yes, I see. You do own several claims. Smaller ones, but yes. Well, if I have any interest in your claims, I will come talk to you directly.
I look forward to speaking with you, and your name is?
Deaton Miller Esquire, ma'am.
Deaton Miller. Well, it was a pleasure meeting you.
The pleasure is all mine, ma'am.
Of course it is. She'll give a bit of a smirk before riding off, kind of in front of the group and pacing past Miller.
He just watches you go, and as everybody clears out, he continues on his way.
He seemed nice.
They're never nice. They're a bunch of sharks. Always trying to get my lands.
Kind of a coincidence that we see this fella on the road after Mr. Nutter here tells us of trouble up at the mine.
Well, it's been over an hour since he left. That person's probably gone by now.
Joe just kind of shrugs, not familiar with this area, and takes Jessa at her word.
It doesn't take you much longer until you're at the mine. There you do see on a soapbox a man standing in front of several others. Go ahead, Rogue.
Yeah, Jim is up there trying to preach some scriptures and stuff to anyone who's listening, trying to calm him down. And he says, do not repay anyone evil for evil. Be careful to do what is right in the eyes of everyone, if it is possible, as far as it depends on you. live at peace with everyone. Do not take revenge, my dear friends, but leave room for God's wrath, for it is written, "It is mine to avenge, I will repay," says the Lord.
Oh,
On the contrary,
Father, sir, I'm just, my ears are bleeding here. I'm gonna take another drink if that's okay, since I'm not technically in church, one of the miners says, and and they all start kind of laughing.
but you're getting what I'm saying there, son. Are you getting it? Are you understanding all these words?
You said
There's
something
me.
about God's wrath and doing unto others as you want to do, and maybe going to that jewel and, I don't know, copping a feel or something. I'm sorry. I'm good and drunk, Reverend. I apologize.
And he kind of frowns at the guys, and he says, "Do not be overcome by evil, but overcome evil with good, son."
Do not overcome evil with good. I gotta go take a crap. And one of them walks off and around the building. They're clearly too drunk to. They're just like totally ignoring you.
Yeah. You see Jim, he like shakes his head, and he's looking around at everybody, and looks over at the people approaching on the horses.
Aunt Jessa, is that a man of the cloth preaching
Oh,
on
yes.
your mine land?
And she smiles at. Ah, yeah, it's Preacher Carson. I see him all the time, and on Sundays he really should be attending with me, woman. She gives a glance at Mary before looking back to Carson, smiling. And as she approaches, is there a place, I'm guessing, to tie off her horse?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, she quickly rides over there, jumps off Biscuit, and kind of reins her there. And she hurries over to the preacher, giving a bit of a wave.
He straightens his spectacles and smiles as she gets closer, and he recognizes. Is that Jessabelle Dunn?
Of course it is, Preacher Carson. I'd be surprised if you didn't recognize me.
And he smiles and offers the little bow. And who are these friends you bring along with you?
Oh, well, just some people who are highly interested in things that I'm interested in. I'm assuming Nathan has summoned you here to try and talk some sense into these gentlemen.
Yes, I'm trying to keep the peace here, ma'am.
What exactly has been going on while you've been here, Carson?
One of them's been threatening to throw some dynamite at the other ones.
Jessabelle sighs. She looks to, I'm guessing, the group of drunk miners who aren't doing any work.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she nods to the preacher. Well, thank you for taking your time to come here. I'm sure if they weren't imbibing the devil's liquors, then they'd be listening to your words.
He sighs and says, well, you can't take all the liquor away from them. I'm sure they'll be happy to see you, though.
I don't know about happy, but we'll see. She looks to Joe, Nutter, Dunn, and Maxwell and makes sure that they're nearby, and if not, just motions them over. And she starts heading towards the miners.
Yeah. Do you want me to round them up? If everybody that I can find, at least, ma'am. I'd be happy to do so. Nutter says.
Yeah, just to make sure that they're all out of the mine. Need someone to go down there and speak to that dynamite wielding crazy bastard.
Well, I'll see. I'll go down there as far as I dare. He's been saying he'll if somebody comes down that he doesn't like, he's fixing to blow it up.
Depends who he doesn't like. Does he like me?
I very much doubt it, ma'am.
You want me to shoot him?
Well, that was the plan, basically. Go down, catch him off guard, and she looks to Nutter, pauses for a second. But of course, we're gonna talk him down if we can.
Ma'am, even I'd have to say that is a interesting idea, but there's a bunch of nooks and crannies down there. He could be quite about anywhere. If you go down there, that's going to be difficult.
She sighs. Oh, get someone to go down there and talk to him. Can't have someone stopping him work.
Of course, ma'am. I don't worry about what I say. I'm just looking out for your well-being and your men's well-being. I'm just going to go get the miners, and you can have a talking to them. I'm sure they'll listen to you better than me. And he goes begins, "Come on, you hoots, come on. The boss lady's here. She wants to talk to you. Get off your ass." And he's yelling at people as he's getting people together while you guys are standing around.
And Jessabelle looks back to the rest. Honestly, I don't know what to do in this situation. Never had anyone wielding some dynamite down in my mines.
Well, if you need my assistance, ma'am, I am here and ready.
Well, if you can convince him through the words of Jesus Christ that he needs to put down the dynamite, that'd be most helpful, preacher.
Tell him that folks that die of dynamite go to hell.
That's honestly a pretty good plan.
I think you might be right about that, too.
Joe kind of quietly asks Jesse, he kind of goes up, how much money is this mine making for them? For you, more importantly.
That's a good question. How much money is this
What's
mine
your
making?
status?
My status.
Influence plus status.
My question basically is is this a successful miner, or he's just kind of asking why are they being dickbags?
I mean, it is a successful mine for sure, but what she pays him? I mean,
so it's 6.
Yeah, it's very successful. But what she pays them?
Yeah, she looks to Joe. This man is making me quite a bit of money, and it would be a big hit if I did not have this mine anymore.
Oh, I totally understand what you're saying. I suppose if they're too much trouble, you could get rid of them and replace them with a bunch of Chinamen out of San Francisco. Clean, work hard, and work for a pittance they do.
Man, that's exactly what I was going to threaten these men with. You're thinking one step ahead of me, Joe. She kind of touches his arm and laughs.
Joe smiles and receptive to the touch and glad to offer some good advice. And he goes, well, however you want to play this, I'll back you up 100%.
Well, if any of them get out of line, just whip them with one of your rifles.
Can do.
At this point, Nathan's brought back about 12 men. There should be at least 20 here working. And he says, all right, the boss lady's gonna talk, and he pushes the one that was very drunk and disrespectful to the preacher forward first. Now listen up, what she's got to say. Kind of claps one on the back of the head.
So, I've been hearing some rumors about all of you wanting to unionize. No, I'm sure that you know that pretty much no other mine in this area has decided to unionize. Also, is that true?
Yeah, that's true.
I'm pretty sure you know that no other mine in this area has decided to unionize. And I'm very sure that many of you have wives, maybe children, or just homes in this area. So it'd be a deep shame if you decided that unionizing would be a needed thing, because I really don't think that unionizing is a needed thing. The other thing that I think is that there are many, many people out there who would kill to have a job and an income and a home in this area. Now, I find it very disappointing that you're taking my generosity for granted and taking my generosity and giving you these jobs for granted. Now, if you decide that you want to unionize, you can decide to walk out of this place right now. You can decide that you want to walk to some place that does have a union. Well, I gotta tell you, you're gonna be walking for a very long time. And I'm sure your family and your life here does not want to be uprooted by that type of thing. So I very much suggest that you get off your asses and start working again. Is that clear?
Give me a rhetoric roll.
Oh no. I don't know if we would have rhetoric. Hey, with leadership, but...
Rhetoric.
Let's see, where is rhetoric?
It's under communications.
Hey,
It's not bad.
not bad.
The two of the miners kind of look around. They're kind of grumbling, and they're, well, I guess he's right. You know what he said, but I don't know. Well, ma'am, one of them says, the man that came, he said that we could get 2 bits more a day if we unionized, and well, more money's always better, but you do have a point, and the preacher too, I guess. I can't remember what he said. I was rightly kind of drunk, but we'll get to work. But you know, ma'am, there's more down there, and they are not very receptive to any kind of talk. Dirty Jim has really pissed off.
How about this? I understand that more pay is, well, it's gonna be a definite thing that's a big inspiration to all of you. And she thinks for a moment, if she was to pay them more, exactly how much could she benefit, or like, from paying them, basically?
Give me a status roll.
Why don't you give them a bonus once they'd reach a certain quote?
Ooh.
Yeah, go ahead and get a status roll. Yeah, you think that keeping the status quo would probably be pretty good for your bottom line, even if you had to give them a little bit more money or a bonus or something like that. Because if you got new miners in, they'd all have to be trained, etc., etc.
Well, how about this? Depending on... And she kind of looks to Joe before she says this and gives him a bit of a smile. How about this? Depending on how much exactly that you mine, the harder that you work and the more that you turn up, the bigger bonus that you're gonna get for, well, turning up them minerals. How about that?
Well, I mean, that sounds good. That sound good to you, Fred? Yeah, that sounds good.
Good.
But
And you're saying these gentlemen... Oh, sorry.
yeah, just
you
we
go.
can't go back down there. He'll shoot us, I think.
So you got a gentleman down there with dynamite, a gentleman down there with a gun. Is that correct?
Yeah, Dirty Jim's down there was one of those boys that came. I think. I'm sorry, man. I've been getting quite toasty up here for the most of the morning, but yeah, and a couple miners. Who was down there? Oh, I don't know, but I think there's several people down there, and they ain't so happy. They say they'll blow the passage to the main entrance to the mine, the deep mine, if anybody comes down and there ain't a union in place. That's what he's saying. That's what I heard him say. I don't know. I'm sorry, ma'am. I've been just... This whiskey is God's devil. You know, I'm going to repent my sins right now to the preacher, I think. 'Cause, whew.
Good. Y'all just enjoy your day, and you know what? Take your time. Enjoy your drinks. You know what? Head to the Jewel. Tell Miss Red Kate that at least one round is on me. How about that?
That new oh, yeah. Well, come on, Fred. Let's get going. It's going to take... Yeah, how much money you got? Yeah, okay, yeah, we're going. And they all start immediately loading into a wagon. And Nathan's, ma'am, you mind if I go with them?
Oh, not at all, Mr. Nutter. You know what? You enjoy your day, too. You're the first round, and only the first round.
I'll keep an eye on them, make sure they don't get any trouble.
Good. Make sure they don't get too handsy with the woman. Red Kate is such a pain in the ass to deal with when she's upset. Hates them laying on hands, woman. I don't know why. They're just a bunch of whores. Anyway, enjoy yourself.
He nods, and half the other miners get into his wagon as they pull out of there. Preacher, you coming?
Oh no. You have fun, son.
I plan to. And they take off.
Joe kind of looks to Jessa and goes, "Oh, do you want me to go down there and try and convince him? There's no sense in you going down there and dirting yourself up."
Oh, well, what's going to happen is that if they don't decide to listen to reason, what we're going to tell them is that there is now a union place and we've agreed, and once they have put down their weapons, we're going to kill them.
What does the preacher say to this? What does anybody say to this?
Joe looks at the preacher and he's like, are you sure the heat hasn't gotten to you, Jessa? He kind of motions, nods his head towards the preacher like, seems like the news of your brother might have put your head in the wrong place.
Oh, you're very right, Joe. I'm so sorry. And she turns to the preacher. Please, forgive me, preacher. I'm just so very upset today. You have to understand. I just received terrible news about my brother. I don't mean what I say.
Mary looks disappointed at Jessa's backing down. She was really seemed excited about Jessa suggesting that they kill people. But...
Jim he coughs for a second and takes his handkerchief out and wipes his forehead. He says, "Oh, yes, Jessa, maybe I should talk to the boys down there first before."
Yeah. Preacher Carson, you talk to those boys. If you want to go first, let them know that as long as they come up safely, that their sins will be repented. But please let me know if you can not accomplish that, and then there'll be further discussions. But of course, this is all under the eyes of God and Jesus, so nothing bad will happen.
Oh, all right then. Yes, I will tell them. Hell's wrath will follow if they do not heed my word.
Don't tell them that. Please don't tell them that hell's wrath will follow. That's probably not the best idea. Just provide a lot of love, of course, as you provide in your scriptures and your readings. Just provide them a lot of love and support in what they're doing, and that if they come out safely, that they will indeed unionize.
Well, that sounds much better then, ma'am.
Good. Thank you very much. And make sure to tell them individually. If you can.
Does Jim know that she's lying now?
I don't know. Is she lying? You tell me. Then you rolled deception versus detect lies.
Yeah, I'll bust out the detect lies. Oh man, she's good.
Jessabelle's good lie.
Alright, where is that?
It's
The
under
tech
empathy.
glasses.
Even Joe's believing her.
Here it goes.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
All right then, ma'am.
Thank you, Preacher.
You head into the mines. All right.
Aunt Jessa, I'm confused. Are we gonna kill people or not?
And you see kind of Jess's eyes darkening. That's what the mines are for, sweetie. Burying bodies.
Mary looks at her with some new respect.
You head down into the mines, and it doesn't go too far. You have to wind your way around. There's lamps set up on the way, and you see a group of 5 men. You know several of them from church. One you don't know that well. You know his name is Jim Duncan, Dirty Jim. You've heard him called. He has a cigar in his mouth and sitting there and kind of peeks up as you walk around the corner. He has a shotgun in his lap. And who's that?
Yeah, Jim Carson comes kind of limping down on with his cane, and is that Dirty Jim? Hey, this is just it's just Preacher Carson.
Oh God, what you doing here, preacher?
Well, I come to talk some sense into you.
Well,
We don't want
sense.
we
I'm
don't-
the one talking sense. We're gonna get some money, boy.
Well, that's what I came to talk to you about. You know, Jess has been telling me that if you want to agree to the union, then throw down your weapons and come on out and talk.
If I want to agree to the union, throw down my weapons and come out and talk, you say. You tell her and her little white little skirts to come down here and tell me stuff. What you think, boys? And they all laugh.
He looks over and he says, "Now, Jim, we don't want any trouble at all, but she's willing to pay you the money that you're looking for. You just got to put your weapons down and come on outside."
Reverend, why don't you have her come down here and talk to... Has she ever even been in a mine? I doubt it, boys. Tell her to come down here and talk to old Dirty Jim. Maybe Dirty Jim will pay her a visit in her blankets. And they laugh.
He looks displeased and he says, "Well, I'm trying to give you a chance, Jim. I'm trying to give you a chance to make some more money for your families. Don't you want that?" Can he use his rhetoric at all?
Yeah, you
or-
can use rhetoric, yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Not bad. Oh God. Some of the miners, the last joke, they're like, yeah, I don't know, Jim. Said that they're gonna let us have it. Why are we pushing our luck? They're lying to you, boys. Come on now, stay down here with me. And 2 of them like, well, oh man, I don't know. They just kind of throw their picks over their shoulder and start walking out. He's like, come on, boy, what are you doing? You're leaving, dirty bill. What? And they just, oh, okay, preacher, we're with you. And the other, oh, you traitors. And the other 2 just like giving all of you the dirty eye.
"Those who seek peace, the Lord will provide." And he smiles at the guys that are kind of following him out and pats them on his shoulders.
Jim, will you make me a perception roll? It's under senses. You can do your skill menu too from your token macro, so you don't have to dig into your sheet. Yep. Yeah, you see the guys walking by you.
He's cleaning his spectacles.
Dirty Jim says, "Preacher, you get the hell out of here before I have to put a slug in you. I'm sick of hearing your banter. It's bored as shit. Tell that woman if she wants Dirty Jim and the rest of his friends to agree to her union, that she comes down here and talks to us face to face. That's the only way. Or else." He taps something on his chest. "This is going in where the sun don't shine down here, and then she ain't gonna be getting anything out of this mine."
He kind of frowns and just looks at him, darkly, and, "All right, son. God be with you." And then he turns around and walks away.
You head back out the mine. You see two men walk out the mine in front of you. Jess and everyone else. Two miners walk out. They look up. "Oh, bright out here."
Oh, I understand now. Come here, so we can talk about this.
Yeah, the preacher said that you were willing to. Well, I don't know exactly. Yeah, I just sounded good at it. We make peace with everything, and they walk towards you.
Oh, of course, making peace is great and everything. I find it fantastic to make peace myself, though. I will say, the whole unionizing thing, yeah, that's a little bit off the table since you've been holding up my mines. But I will offer you that anything you do find, any extra work that you do, you will be getting higher pay for it. Though I will say, if you refuse, you'll be fired. If you decide to attempt to run back in the mines and tell your friends, you will be retired from more than just your job if you catch material.
But the preacher said that you were gonna...
Yeah, the preacher said. Unfortunately, well, the preacher doesn't always know exactly what I'm implying.
One of them turns around and starts walking to Jim, who is slowly... "Preacher, she's lying. She said that we can't unionize after all. What the hell's going on?" He's yelling it, essentially.
He's like straightening his glasses and walking up out of the mine, and well, she's saying she's going back on the deal. And he starts to walk by them to try to talk to Jess and see what's going on.
Joe's gonna kind of intervene on the two miners and kind of do his attempt to persuade them, just like, "Oh, don't you understand, lads? When you unionize, y'all make the same pay, but when you work individually, the harder the work, the more money you get. Doesn't that sound a little bit more fair? You get more money the harder you work, and you don't have to share it with your fellow miners."
And if you decide to go a step further back into those mines, again, you will be retired from, well, what you're doing right now. Again, if you catch my drift, sir.
I was just going to talk to the preacher, sir, man.
Well, you better come back here
all
right
right,
now.
we're getting. And they scurry back towards you. Fine, whatever. I don't know, some big city slicker came in here and told us this was the best way to go. It ain't worth me getting shot over, that's for damn sure. Come on.
Exactly. And you know what, gentlemen, because I'm so very nice and generous, I'd suggest that you join your friends down at the Jewel and take part in some of the ladies there.
Oh, chew, hot damn, let's go. And
that's what I thought.
before you go, why don't you tell me what this fancy city slicker looked like?
Oh, he's got dark hair. He's got a pretty nice mustache. He's still down there.
He is, really?
Oh yeah, he's down there. He's down there talking to Jim.
Oh, he's down with Jim. Well, I can't wait to meet him.
Yeah. I don't know. Anyway, we're gonna head out if we're gonna go to Jew. Been a while, boys.
You guys have fun.
And they grab one of the wagons and take off. Hey, boys, gonna be a good one tonight.
As they leave, Mary sidles over to Jessa. What's this jewel place everybody keeps talking about?
Oh, honey, that's where the unfortunate women go when they have nothing better to do than open their legs.
She just looks confused.
Yeah. A place of debauchery and sin.
Yes, and also of sadness. It's so sad to see the women there. I mean, normally they get what's coming to them, but who knows? Anyway, back to the minds at hand.
I would like everyone to roll perception for me. It's under senses. Ugh. Jim and Sticky and everybody besides pretty much Maxwell and...
Why did I roll on Max?
Because you probably had his token highlighted.
Oh, hey! Okay, let me get out to Jess.
Yeah, it's fine.
I was like, why did Mary roll twice?
There we go.
It's weird. I must have been selecting the wrong person too. Yeah. So really everybody sees it. There's somebody peeking out the mine entrance right now.
And Jessa looks over to whoever's peeking and she gives them a wave again, gesturing to Maxwell to at least train his gaze, maybe keep his hand hovered over his pistol. She gives him a wave. Hi there.
And as soon as you say that, whoever it is ducks back inside.
Oh, shit. They probably know what's been going on.
Did it look like the city slicker they talked about?
It's hard to say.
Jim turns to Jessa and says, well, the others didn't go for it. And they're still down there and wanted you to come down personally. But I would think that would be a bad idea, man.
Would be a bad idea, but the other bad idea is having my my minds go up in flames and having things collapse. The only thing I can advise is I go in first, but all of you trail behind. I'd like you to make sure you stay hidden, and of course, the twists and turns, I'm guessing, of the caverns, I'll be able to be in front and talking to these gentlemen. Hopefully I can get them to put down their gun, but she looks to the preacher. I apologize, preacher, but these aren't men of Jesus. I'm pretty sure they're possessed by the devil or something, and I think we need to exorcise them, unfortunately with bullets.
He seems like worried, just worried look on his face, and are you talking about going down there first?
Well, it is my mind after all. I gotta take care of things and figure this out. Not having this Spider-Man can blow up.
How do we know when to shoot?
Well, once they put down their weapons, I'd suggest, once they move away from them, I suggest shooting. If they decide, hopefully you're within earshot, but if they keep denying what I'm saying, if they start raising weapons against me, I suggest shoot.
How about you say a word? Pick a word that you can work into the conversation.
She thinks for a moment. She looks to Joe. What do you think?
Oh, I'd say, back when I was in Texas, Cassidy had a way with words. And that's what I know, that the shooting's about to begin.
That sounds like a good idea. She
Jim, like, definitely seems perturbed and everything. He says, if anybody was to get shot, I'd rather it be me. Why don't you at least stand behind me?
How would the both of us go down together? With the rest in the back, of course.
He nods and looks at everybody else for their approval.
Well, if you want to protect the lady, that's mighty fine of you. I'm never one to say no. If the shooting starts, you get her to safety.
Yeah, well, my life hasn't been entirely one without sin myself, and if anybody deserves a bullet, it'd be me. I'll tell you that now.
Don't worry, Preacher. I'll make sure to try and ward away from the bullets and the gunfire. But when we get out of this, I'll make sure to donate a very hefty sum to your coffers.
He smiles and nods, and that's mighty fine of you, but not necessary.
Oh, I think it might be necessary. But anyway, we should probably head down, you and I, and everyone else. Just make sure to follow, not quite in tow, behind enough so you can be aware if anything goes wrong.
Jim nods and takes his cane and turns around, starts making his way slowly.
Jezza will take the preacher's arm and kind of help him down as well.
He does say a silent prayer as they're going down too.
Yeah, Jim, as you know, it was straight along these tracks. Just straight to the right. Where you had seen him.
Alright. And he'll just have her arm and walking with the cane in his other hand and whisper in the prayer.
Mary's gonna try to stay stealthy from behind. She'll have her rifle out, but she'll try to stick to the shadows and spot whoever they're there to.
Sticky's definitely checking out the area to see
Is it
if the threat of dynamite is real. Like if they got any rigged anywhere.
That's another part of the... What are you asking,
Matt? Sorry, is it down this way?
No, just follow Jim. He's going the right way. Just this way. Across this little bridge.
Yeah, and Jessa kind of holds a handkerchief over her mouth, not really used to being in a place like...
When you get right about there, you hear somebody say, "Hold up now, right there, stay right there. Just where Dirty Jim can see you."
And Jessabelle shoves, I don't know, tries to tell Joe to back up with their hands.
And we're over a pit right
Yep.
now?
Oh. She nods. Alright, well, I'm here. Just like you wanted.
Just wanted to look at you. Get the measure of you.
Well, I thought you wanted to talk.
Oh, I do. About a union, you see.
Of course.
Unions are pretty fair, don't you think? You're gonna let us unionize?
You know, after some careful consideration and some balance of the books, I think I could let you guys unionize.
I don't know if I believe you much.
Well, what is it gonna take for you to believe me?
Well, I don't know that it matters much, you see, because that's not why you're here. Union sounds just dandy, and he slings a shotgun over his shoulder. But you have made some enemies, lady. Whew! Preacher, I'm sorry you got all tangled up in this, but Dirty Jim's gotta make some real money. And Dirty Jim, well, he's been told you need to go down in that pit. Down.
Sticky Joe knows what's gonna come next, so he's pulling his gun and shooting.
Alright, let's roll initiative.
You know how this ends.
Alright, so everybody, you should have an initiative button. It's in your combat menu.
Yeah, Jim was about to say something to him. And just more talk, of course, trying to persuade him out of it and everything. He's like, now, son, I've been on the other side of that gun. And then Sticky Joe will probably have shot by then.
Yeah, he
or
definitely
whoever's
has drawn his gun for sure. Oh, Jessabelle. I think that's it. Is that everybody?
Oh, combat menu.
Yeah, combat menu.
I got it.
Yo.
There we go.
Maxwell?
Yeah.
Blip, I'm in.
You should have control of Maxwell, right?
I do.
Okay. Okay, cool. Alright, let's do it. Jessabelle, what would you like to do?
Jessabelle's actually going to make her way further towards them, but try to hide behind these crates and see if she can fire at them.
Sure. You can move, and that would be your first action. Okay.
Yeah, so she's gonna kind of crouch down behind these barrels or these crates to try and get some cover, and she's going to fire.
Yep, you gotta move first. That's 3 AP, and then you can fire when it is your turn.
Alright.
So you spend the AP to move, and then it's whoever's next with 0 AP, which is Sticky Joe.
Sticky Joe is gonna shoot at Mr. Dirty Jim, because he's the one running his mouth.
He is the one running his mouth. He is 13 away. That is long range. Normally, you have your. What do you have out?
I probably would have had the pistol.
Yeah, he's long range then. And you're gonna take probably a -2 for cover.
So an additional mods -2.
Ooh, that's a good roll.
Let's see, so 11 plus 8 is 19, right in the torso.
Yeah, so that's actually 9 plus 8. But, yeah, it's 17 in the torso. 17 is a wound for him, so he takes a wound, and he takes a injury. So how's that look as you shoot him from across the way?
If there's one thing he doesn't like, it's someone running his mouth to someone he likes and cares about. So he already had his pistol drawn, and after he doesn't even bother retorting to anything Jim says, pulls up his revolver and fires off a shot, and despite the range, managed to hit him right in the upper torso, causing him to kind of jerk back and twist from a 44 round right in the torso.
Yep. Mary, you're up.
Alright, she can just barely make out Dirty Jim. She starts a bit when Sticky Joe fires, but she quickly kneels down and follows his lead with her rifle. Does she get a range penalty?
You have your rifle?
Yes.
No, that's medium
That's what
range.
she specializes.
That's medium range. Give yourself...
I'm sorry.
That was under reload, so do it under weapons. See the weapons category, not the reload category. It's the third one down.
Oh yeah. Alright. Oh, okay, there we go.
Mary, did you remember to take the safety off?
Wow. You did not do medium range. You did point blank range.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Just go ahead and roll a 2d10. Yeah, roll another 10 for me.
Ooh, that's nice.
That's very bad. Roll another 10.
Yeah, you missed.
Yeah, you missed.
Oh,
Yeah, because this is the range part of it. Yeah, you missed.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, that shot just goes flying overhead.
Yeah, that sucks.
Sticky Joe kind of flinches and ducks his head as it ricochets horribly.
Narrowly
so does
missing
Jessa.
Yeah, Maxwell, you can do what you gotta do.
Maxwell is gonna follow Sticky Joe's his lead, and he's going to. I'm assuming he has a rifle.
Sure.
Yeah, he's going to fire at Dirty Jam.
Okay, that's medium range for Dirty Jim for you.
Okay, so just -2, is
Yeah.
it?
Miss.
So Maxwell fires and it just goes over the head of Dirty Jim, ebbing into the walls.
Yeah, this guy moves up 1. Okay. Just like kind of crawls forward. Dirty Jim is kind of beat up, and he is actually going to try to take cover as well. 2, 3, 4. Hunkers down right here as best he can. Alright, the miners, they begin to rush you. All that money! That one runs there. Okay, they move their maximums. Alright, who has the lowest AP? I believe it is...
Probably.
Oh,
me,
I'm sorry.
Mary,
I missed.
Maxwell.
I missed the priest. He's up. Go ahead. should have went before this guy, technically.
That's my
Yeah,
turn.
That's your turn.
Does that Dunn Miner 2, he looks like he's about to charge
Yeah,
Jessabelle?
he's running. Well, you're not 100% sure, but he's definitely running down this bridge towards somebody.
I have a pistol on me, don't I?
Yeah.
I'll try to draw it and hit him in the leg or something.
So, do you want to try
it.
to draw it quickly or just draw it normally? Drawing it normally takes 2 AP. Drawing it quickly will take 1 AP. However, you'll have to do an athletics roll. One thing to note, if you just draw it normally, you're still going to be able to go before that guy goes. Because you'll be at 2 AP and he'll still be at 5. He did something that took a long time.
Okay. I'll try the quick draw. We'll see if how this works.
Okay, so do an athletics roll.
And that's going to be on the skill menu.
That would be on the skill menu, yeah. So that is under agility.
I am not a fast man.
Oh, but that is a success. That is a success. Yeah, you exploded to get it. So it took you 1 AP to draw your pistol. The Lord is with you. That's right. And so this guy now goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now he's there. All right. So the people who have won, which is, I believe, just Unknown Fella and Jim Carson. So now I would look at the initiative tracker and see who is actually first on the initiative tracker. And it's Unknown Fella. So he would go before Jim Carson. He doesn't really have a shot for... So yeah, he's going to shoot towards Jim, seeing that he pulled it out on the bridge. So he's at medium range with his pistol. Oh boy, I'm getting nervous already. Okay, here we go. Medium range. I missed! Oh! Zips by.
Lord is my ship.
Yep. Zips by. And now it is your turn, Preacher.
I shall not want. And then I'll hit pistol down here. Just click on pistol.
Who are you aiming for?
Dunn Miner 2.
Okay, yeah, yeah. So you are at actually close range.
And under weapons, hit pistol, choose him.
Yep, you're at close range.
And do I need no benefit?
No benefit, just when it asks what range, you'd be at close.
Okay.
Oh shit. Oh wow. He's actually pretty good with steel. Does he have 4 decks? Does. Alright, so that's 33. So that definitely gives that guy a wound. But that is, let me see.
That's 41.
40, oh yeah, not counting as, yep. So 41. Yep, 41 and his 24. Not quite double. So he is going to, first thing he does is take a wound. Which literally did not work. Now he has to make a death roll because it was over his mortality rating. This is versus a 41. So if he makes it, then he lives. If he doesn't, he dies. He does not. So how does that kill him?
So Jim, seeing that Jessabelle is in danger, he sees that guy charging him, and just his reflexes, he whips the pistol out as fast as possible as a bullet flies by him and hits the railing on the railroad there, and then or the track, and he fires a shot right above the stomach, right through the ribs of this guy, and is kind of shocked, still standing there, like didn't want to do it, but he had to.
Jessabelle, you're up now.
Jezebel gasps as this person in front of her just falls down dead from the shot of the preacher, and she's going to pull out her own weapon to fire at minor one.
Okay. So just a normal to draw is 2 AP.
Yeah, she's gonna normal draw.
Okay. So that would be your turn for now. Okay. So you're at 5 now. We have a couple more 3s. Sticky Joe, you're up.
All right. So first he's gonna holler to the preacher, and I said, "Cover Jessa." And does he have a shot at Dirty Jim?
You have a decent shot at him, probably a -5 behind those barrels.
Let's see here. I can take an aim action and then fire since I had the highest
initiative. You can definitely take an aim action, but it would be held because there's other people behind you.
Yep, I'll aim and then wait for 3 and 3 to go.
So Mary, you're up.
She's gonna try to redeem herself. Attack Dirty Jim.
Okay, that's a -5 to your roll. He's got good cover.
So where do I put the -5?
So it'll say additional modifiers.
What range?
You are
Medium
at.
still?
You should. Yeah, you're medium.
For a rifle.
You're medium. Oh wow. Wow.
Ha-ha.
21 plus.
Is it a head?
The head's
It's actually, I don't know why that says 12. It should be 10, but so. Oh wow. Okay, so 21 plus 10. 31, 36. All right. Not double his mortality threshold, but he takes another wound and injury. He is having issues here. Hold on, he's got to do a death roll versus a 41.
Issues with his brain coming out of his head.
Okay. How does that kill him?
Well, Mary kneels down, takes aim, tells herself, "It's just a coyote. It's just a coyote." And she pulls back on the trigger and lets fly, and that bullet hits him square in the forehead.
Damn, what
and
a roll.
brain matter splatters behind.
Alright, Sticky Joe, your aim is wasted. Since you're aiming at Dirty Jim. But you are up.
I'll just shoot Dunn Miner number 1 there. Let's see what range.
Kinda
7
glad.
axes. What is that? Short, medium? Okay.
Yeah, I'm kind of glad though. That looked like it was going through me.
Which one?
The one Sticky Joe was aiming at.
Oh, yeah.
Dirty.
Oh my god.
Alright. So that's
19 plus 8, 28. Oh, -3 for hitting him in the leg. So 25. My math isn't.
Yep, 25. So that's definitely a wound. And it's a mortality roll. Here we go. Mortality roll, buddy. Or a death roll, I should say.
Whoa.
Oh, he made it. So it shoots him in the leg, and he but it does not kill him.
That's one explosion.
Yeah, it's a good roll. These guys are hardy too. So Maxwell, you're up.
Yeah, Maxwell is going to. He doesn't see the. I don't think he can see the unknown fellow from where he is. So he's gonna just because the miner's right there. He's gonna aim, or he's just gonna shoot.
Mm-hmm.
I should
Yeah,
say.
do that.
What's the distance?
I believe you're medium. You are medium.
Oh, what the hell did I?
You
what
can
the
click
hell?
the reload at the bottom.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay.
That is a miss. Yeah, it just ricochets off the ground in front of him. I think it's me now, right? So this guy's gonna shoot at the priest again. It's medium range. Four.
This is it.
Jimmy.
Yeah, I'm gonna shoot. It is a hit to the torso. Let's see here. So it is actually a 18.
Hit me in the Bible. Come on, hit me in the Bible.
That's a wound to the torso. So wound. Let me give you that. Torso wound of 18.
Bible armor.
Yeah, you're shot in the stomach. How does it look as you get shot?
Yeah, the round hits him in the stomach, and he like topples over the rails, looking shaky and dizzy for a minute, thinking he might fall off the edge there.
I think you're up too. You are.
He's gonna take a shot. Is this guy clear? He's open,
yeah,
or
he's
is he in
completely
cover?
clear.
Yeah, he'll take a shot at him.
Okay. All your penalties are
Just
worked
kinda-
in, so.
Okay, cool. So it would just be. And that is that range
Medium,
short
medium.
again, or close,
medium.
or medium?
It's a hit. 12. That's a 20. This guy definitely takes a wound and injury. And it is not over his mortality threshold. So you shoot him and he kind of double. He just like looks panicked. But he's not down. So who has? It's Jessabelle.
Jessabelle's gonna shoot the nearest miner to her, kind of leaning over the shaky hand and shooting at him.
He from you. That is medium still for a pistol.
Any negatives?
That's a hit. 8 damage. That's just an injury. Oh, it's not even 8. It's 5. Yeah, that doesn't. It just grazes him. Doesn't do anything. Barely nicks him.
And she's still gonna crouch behind this box.
Mm-hmm.
Very scared.
Yeah, this guy is very injured, but I'm coming. I'm coming. God, give me strength. And he's gonna actually Yeah, he is just so. He's gonna run. He begins to run away. All right. Who's next? 6 is Mary.
Mary doesn't really see anybody anymore, so she's got to move forward. How does that work?
So you can move as many hexes as APs you want to spend. So if you wanted to move like three hexes, you would spend 3 APs to do so. If you wanted to move more than 5, then you're running, and then you have to stop after. Basically, you can run if there's nobody in there to interrupt you, but.
Okay. I don't think she'd shoot somebody in the back, so I think she's just slowly moving forward.
Okay. So, how did you just move 1 there?
2.
Okay. All right. Maxwell.
Maxwell, he's also gonna move up. How much? Is it 6 AP that he has?
He's at 6 right now. Yep. He can move up to 5 essentially. You can run more, but he'll get stopped because people have less AP.
Yeah, he's gonna move 5. And see the other fella down there, kind of blocking the way for Jessa.
Yep. That puts him at 11. The fastest 7 is up. I believe that's Sticky Joe.
Sticky knows that it's never wise to leave someone alive in a gunfight if you can help it. So while he does not have shot at the unknown assailant, he will put a bullet in the fleeing miner. And 12 is medium.
I believe it is just barely medium. Go ahead and go with that for now.
Oh, he's fucking dead.
Maybe.
Oh my
Maybe.
god.
So minus 9 to that. That's 44.
Damn, that's good. Roll
So
right
he's
there.
he's gonna roll a death roll.
Man.
41 is that?
What the fuck?
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Holy shit.
Will not die.
Exploded 3 times.
Yeah, you shoot him in the
Will
back
to
and he
live.
stumbles. He takes another injury, but
Too tired.
He's a zombie.
Oh, Margaret, I'm coming for you. I gotta get out of here. All right. I believe it's the preacher. No, it's unknown fella. No. No, that's not right.
Didn't
He
get
shot
hit
you last time. Or did you shoot? Oh no, you shot the miner, didn't you?
Yeah, I think it's his.
My turn. He's gonna shoot at Maxwell this time. New guy steps up. Gonna shoot Maxwell. No mods. Medium range. That's a miss.
Nice.
And Maxwell just ducks just in time as the bullet kind of flies overhead. He turns to face the unknown fella.
Alright. I believe it is the priest's turn.
How many AP do I have? I could make it. Let's see.
You can.
I want to try to move. Actually,
you can move basically 5.
1, 2, 3, 4, cover.
Mm-hmm.
Can he fall back behind
Yep.
that and drop
Yep.
full cover
Yeah,
there?
you're in cover.
Yeah, cool. He'll kind of like slump over there, like just, real tired looking. Oh, and just fall up against the wall there. Okay.
All right. Jessa.
Jessa is going to see if cover right now, the minor 2.
Not really, no. He's actually elevated.
Good. Yeah, she's gonna shoot at him for running away.
He only can take one more wound.
No,
I think.
he couldn't even take the last one. He got a wound, but then every time you go over your wound threshold, you just do another death roll, no matter what.
What range?
Medium. Although the last one might have been over his mortality too, I'm not sure. So that's a hit. So that is going to be 9 plus. Oh, you're shooting with your Derringer. We'll just say it's a normal pistol. This Derringer is a little different, but so that would be 8. So 34 minus. Okay, so 17 exactly. So that's another wound for him. So he's got to do another death roll. But it's only against the 17, so...
He's gonna crit fail because Jessa shot him.
Or
explode all over us.
Oh my god.
Yeah, Jessa shoots him again in the arm. Or sorry, the right leg.
Let's
adding
see.
to the bullets.
Leg, arm.
Honey, I'm coming for you! There's no bullets that can take me down!
He's gonna weigh twice as much in legs.
He's gonna die in these mines.
Actually, did you just shoot? Did I give you... Were you at 11 before or something else? Were you at 8?
I was at 8 before.
Okay, so it's Mary's turn. Then it's Sticky Joe's turn.
He's been down here hitting that opium.
Yeah, I can't feel anything.
Mary has caught a glimpse at the unknown assailant, and she is going to move forward a little bit to try to get a better look, and then she's probably going to fire at.
Yeah, you can still fire, because you're now at 9, and you're still the lowest, so you can still fire.
Okay. If she moved forward one more, would she be able to fire or not?
Sticky Joe would go before you, and then you would go.
Well, she's not worried about Sticky Joe, going before her, so she'll move forward one, let him.
Okay. Alright, Sticky.
Do I have an angle on him? I don't think so.
It'd be at like a negative 15.
Yeah, let's see. So I can move 5 spaces, and that'll for my action. I can't. Can I occupy the same spot as Jessa or not?
Basically,
since Jim.
Technically, you can move through the same space, but you can't occupy the same space.
You can stand on my head.
Stand over Jessa and fire.
Yeah, that's kind of like what I was thinking, since Jim didn't follow Joe's advice and provide cover, even though Maxwell is. You don't trust a Charo, so he'd probably look to do that. But yeah, he's got. What's the action for sprint? I'm sorry, I don't know.
It's actually run. So running you can do. It's when you move more than 5 spaces.
And he can interrupt, or like while
he can
I'm running,
interrupt
he
after
can.
the 5th one. Yeah. But you would get a bonus to your. I believe you get a bonus to your defense if you're running.
Because basically he's gonna run and take cover behind here. Excuse me, here.
How many spaces did you move?
Let's say.
That's 6.
Yeah, he would take a -5.
The cliche run and jump behind cover.
Okay. All right. So I believe Mary, you're up.
All right. What kind of a negative is
5
she taking?
from that angle, I would say. Yeah, 5. I believe you're at medium range. Yeah. Oof. 38, 15, 23. So I think that is. Hold on 1 second.
Get him, Mary.
Yeah, Mary.
Yeah, that's right. Okay.
She's got a taste for it.
Get it, Mary. Get it done, Mary.
You get it done.
35. So 35. That is definitely a wound, and that is over his mortality roll. So give him a wound, injury first. Now he's going to roll a mortality roll versus a 35. And if he fails, he dies.
Nice.
Or a death roll, I should say. Oh, how does it kill him?
Yeah!
Yeah.
Mary, we didn't get to question it.
Yeah, and that was in the torso. Yeah, you just shoot him in the chest, and he just goes flying backwards. And it's pretty clear there's nobody here, nobody else here. The Dunmars are, oh boy, don't kill me, don't kill me. I got my glory to go to. Starts running around this way. You can shoot him down if you want
Joe's
to.
gonna go grab
His
him.
glory.
Joe's gonna grab him, take him over to the edge. He's like, it's all right. I'm not gonna kill you. The fall is, and then he just shoves him into the mud.
Shit.
Does the Wilhelm scream as he falls.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Great. Just
Everything looks good over here.
Yeah? Everything's good here?
Yep, sorry. I accidentally
okay.
hit myself. Yeah, you shove him down into the pit. Finally, maybe he dies. I'm not sure.
he makes his death roll down there. 75.
I'm not quite dead yet.
I've been shot.
Jessa looks to Maxwell, and she looks shaken, but she keeps that composure, and she looks to the dead body. Throw them in there.
See?
Except for that one. She'll gesture to the fellow. I want to search him first, then we can toss him down there.
Don't be throwing Dirty Jim down there if he's got dynamite.
True. Let's take the dynamite off him before we throw him down.
Yeah.
You got that, Maxwell?
See. He goes over to Dirty Jim. Oh, ma'am, miss, no dynamite on him.
Then which one had dynamite? Is he further in?
He shrugs. No sé.
Or maybe they just said dynamite.
Yeah,
Maybe.
as you search all the guys, there's nobody with any dynamite that you can see.
Oh, looks like this was nothing about a union. It was about drawing you down here.
Apparently. She looks fairly shaken, puts her hands on one of the crates, and looks down. They're getting more brave with what they're doing.
I don't
Who are you talking
understand.
about?
What was this about?
They want the mines, Mary. They want to kill me, so no one else has claim on this place.
Oh.
This the preacher man. He's shot, eh? And he walks over and bad shot. Oh. And he makes the sign of the cross over his chest. Dios mío.
Jim's pretty good at doctoring, so he's gonna check out the wound there. Did it go all the way through, or anything like that?
You got a
or
bullet in your stomach.
Ew.
Why don't you go ahead and so real quick go into your combat menu.
Okay.
Let me get to the right page really quick. We'll do it super fast so we can get this over with. I know it's really late. Go into your combat menu and then do a what's it called? Severity. Under severity, do a torso wound.
Torso wound. Okay.
I think it is
superficial, moderate, or terrible.
What's your wound level? It is a 11, and your wound was a what? Let's see. I marked it on there for you. It is a...
Is that 5 or is that...
So if you go into your... It says wound and injuries, and you look at the... It's 18, so it's... pretty sure that is a superficial wound. Yep. So go ahead and select superficial. No effect. So you actually see that the bullet is in there, but you think you just kind of reach in with your fingers and able to kind of pull it out, and it hurts certainly, but you see what happened, that the bottom part of your Bible, it shot through it and didn't go all the way in.
He's gonna look down and be like, look at the blood in his hand and pinch the bullet out, and he'll hold it up for the others to see in the light. Well, look at that. Wasn't so bad after all.
The word of the Lord really does save.
Looks like it. Sorry.
And as you're amazed by what just happened, the screen fades to black as you have a lot to think about. And that is it.